The Tournament of Power is coming to a close in the Dragon Ball Super anime. In fact, the entire anime is coming to an end, but over in the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Tournament of Power is just beginning. Let's discuss Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 33, written and illustrated by Toyotaro from the latest issue of the monthly V-Jump magazine. Now, the manga's going at a much quicker pace than the anime. Toyotaro managed to scrunch up the entire recruitment stuff into only a couple of chapters worth of stuff, and now as we begin the actual fighting portion of the tournament, it looks like the pacing is still going to be really damn fast. But I'm going to discuss more on that a little bit later on in this review. Now, the manga chapter 33 begins with the entire Team Universe 7 arriving in the world of Void as we are about to begin the festivities. And the first major point that I want to bring up is how the manga version also explains to the viewer, the reader, about the no flying rule as Goku tries to fly, but he fails. Now, there is some extra dialogue here in the manga version from Master Roshi, as he believes that not being able to fly is something that martial artists should be able to surpass. In other words, he thinks that even though the Grand Priest deleted the ability to be done in the tournament, you can still surpass it if you're a martial artist. But Krillin points out that he's just saying that because Roshi can't fly. So Roshi replies back telling Krillin, well, you probably have to go back and start over with the milk training again. So they're kind of having a back and forth quip, but I found that interesting because I wonder if that will play into something later. I wonder if that means that we're going to see characters actually flying if a martial artist is able to supersede the limitations of the tournament. Some people have already talked about Jiren and Goku flying in the anime version, but I just saw that as being very high jumping. But maybe Toyotaro will do something different. I guess we'll find out. There was also a very interesting moment where we find out that prior to the tournament, Caulifla was saying mean things to Magetta, and as a result of that, he decided not to fight. But luckily, they convinced him to fight anyways. So it's interesting because I feel like this is foreshadowing for something coming in the future. The eliminations in the manga version of this are completely different than the ones in the anime. We're going to get to that here in a minute. So Goku meets up with Hit once again, and in this version, Hit says that this time it's not going to be like last time, and that he's been training very hard, and that he will not lose. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because in the anime version, we had a couple of in-between episodes that some would call filler, and honestly, I guess it makes sense to call it that, especially with this connotation, because we had those episodes where Goku and Hit had a rematch when Goku hired Hit to kill him and they had that fight, but none of that is referenced in the manga, so that's an anime exclusive thing. The manga continuity and the anime continuity are two different things. I feel like I say it every month, but there's still people confused about it. You can use the word canon if you want. The point is, there is no set super canon. There's the manga and there's the anime, and each one takes very different directions, especially in this chapter. Frieza meets Frost for the first time, and they talk about the possibility of teaming up, which was also teased in the anime version. But I wonder if Frieza's going to betray him like how he did in the anime version. We'll find out. But it was cool seeing them on screen together here in the manga. So Goku goes to meet up with the Pride Troopers, Toppo, Jiren, and the rest of them. And in this version, that whole idea that Toppo tried to vilify Goku and make him into, you know, the bad guy that all the universes hate and have to beat up, that's not in this version at all. Goku goes to meet with Toppo and finally meets Jiren for the first time. And Jiren's approach is more of a no-nonsense business kind of perspective, in that Jiren cares about nothing but the Super Dragon Balls. That's why he's there. That's what he wants. So the Omni Kings finally appear, and it's about time to begin this thing. And what happens here is Toyotaro does a really good job of sort of showing us the different universes in a montage of all the different, you know, fighters and whatnot. So we have a nice clear look at the 10 fighters from the 8 universes competing. So it's 80 fighters, which is a lot to take in, but he does that, you know, panel by panel, and he does a pretty good job at it. I really love the wide shot that he used for Team Universe 7. And one thing I want to quickly talk about that I didn't put too much light on before was the fact that in the manga, Gohan is wearing Piccolo's clothing as opposed to wearing Goku's. Now, the reason why I didn't put any shine on it before is because I didn't really see it as a big deal, and I still don't see it as a big deal, but it could be some kind of foreshadowing about some Gohan Piccolo moment that we'll get in the manga in the future. But I did want to point out that yes, Gohan is wearing Piccolo's outfit and not Goku's in the manga version. So at last the time has come, the tournament begins, everyone starts to fight, and they focus on 17 at first, having some fights with Team Universe 10, which I don't believe even happened in the anime version. And very quickly, 17 and 18 get the first couple of eliminations in this thing. So they are not wasting any time here. They are going right into eliminations right away, very fast. Vegeta also steps in and throws out some people, but one of the dudes he threw out was our boy Kato Pelspa, or however the hell you pronounce his name. I thought he was pretty damn funny, and it's a shame that he didn't do anything in the manga, but this is going at breakneck speed right now. Now, there's a really awesome scene in the manga that I thought was super freaking cool, and that's Goku fighting the Pride Troopers. There's a scene where Goku actually takes on the lesser Pride Troopers all by himself. Not Jiren and Toppo, but more so like the lower crew. I don't want to call them jabronis, that's not what they are, but I love how he takes them on by himself. But speaking of Jiren, one of the things I sort of complained about with the anime is that if Jiren is so powerful, why is he just standing around the whole time? He didn't do any eliminations early in the tournament. He didn't really do anything but just wait till the fight with Goku to get involved. He was just standing around, and you know he's strong. He could have helped, throw out some dudes. That's not how it is in the manga. Toyotaro writes Jiren to immediately go in there and start throwing people out, trying to win for his universe, and I absolutely love it. I want to see Savage Jiren from start to finish, not just at the end, and Toyotaro made a change that I think is awesome. And I do look forward to Jiren humbling more people in the coming months while this manga comes out, and seeing him in action a lot more. We then get this awesome wide shot of people fighting in this tournament, and I love how it's not just Universe 7 versus everyone. It actually feels more like a battle royale, like the early parts of the tournament where you have different universes fighting different universes, not just a Universe 7 centric tournament, and I do hope again that Toyotaro continues this trend. The end of the manga chapter focuses back on Frieza and Frost and some very interesting things, and I wonder if Toyotaro is going to write it to where the Frost Frieza stuff happens earlier than it did in the anime. So Frieza tells Frost not to waste stamina, and he reveals that the three bald guys, Roshi, Tenshinhan, and Krillin, are the weakest small fry, and he requests that Frost get rid of them early. Now Frost comes back and he's like, well, wait a minute, why would Frieza risk his universe possibly being erased by helping out another universe? And Frieza does not care. He just wanted to get revenge on the Saiyans, and he's waiting for the arena to clear out before he can make his move. So Frost says, okay, that makes sense, and that's the end of the manga chapter. I am obviously seeing that Frieza's setting up this dude for a betrayal, and it's just funny that they're setting it up this early. So what did I think about this manga chapter? It's difficult to really say. Toyotaro didn't really take too many gambles as far as doing any kind of backstory for the characters that we didn't get backstory for in the anime. And I'm not really mad about that or anything, but it didn't really take that many chances. There was a lot of action here, and it was fun to look at some of the panels and some of the fight scenes that Toyotaro drew, but for the most part, this is more of a manga chapter that's more of a setup for things to come. It lays the groundwork for future storylines within this tournament that they're going to be playing into later. But if you've seen the anime version all the way through, then this is not really essential reading, to be honest with you. Obviously, if you're reading the manga, all the way through as well, you should probably glance at it, but it's not a chapter that I think is particularly that interesting, or one that I think really adds anything to what we already knew from the anime version. It's just setting up things for his version of the story, and we'll see that play out, of course, in the future. So, let me know what you think about manga chapter 33 of Dragon Ball Super. And one thing I will say that I talked about earlier, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit now, is that the pacing for this is very fast. This arc in the manga could end by October or November, right before the movie. I mean, it's very possible because Toyotaro is going through this much faster than we all expected. So I do not think this is going to last more than maybe 7 months or 8 months at best. I could be wrong, but that is what I think. Do you agree? Let me know. If not, that's cool too. And I will see you guys very, very soon.